Hello everyone, once again this is Nate Scott, www.asknatescott.com, and tonight I'm here at the Denver Acceleration as we wrap it up, and I'm here with this new marketing director, Mr. Scott Ross. How you doing, Scott?
Great, Nate.
Man, it's always great seeing you. I really love your presentation on www.World Ventures Blitz. The B2B presentation, which I really love, and that one I'm really trying to get people to understand it. But I'd rather have you just talk about your background, and once again, I really want to say I respect you a great deal, and I'm so happy to see you on that stage again.
Thanks, Nate. I appreciate that. Well, my background is, I spent the last 16 years in the software industry. I was an executive for a couple large companies. I was most recently vice president of sales for a company for North America. I had sales teams in virtually every major city, and we sold multi-million-dollar solutions to the Fortune 500. Some of my bigger customers were name brand companies that you would be very familiar with. But the challenge I had was, quite simply, I was completely time broke. I made great income. I made multiple six-figure income year after year after year, and yet I have a wife of 15 years, 3 amazing children, and I was giving them the dregs of what was left over of dad and what was left over of husband. And I was a little bit cynical when I was introduced to this by a mentor of mine, and frankly, he was a self-made millionaire, a spiritual mentor to me, and it was just on his personal credibility alone that I did him the favor of taking a look at it. And I was really quite perplexed. Why is a gentleman this successful wanting me to take a look at a network marketing vehicle? And so I always try to pride myself on being intellectually honest and evaluating anything in the same way, not to apply a scrutiny to this that I wouldn't apply to some other business vehicle. And so when I began to look at this top to bottom in the way that I would evaluate a venture capital investment I might make, when I might evaluate a franchise I could buy, a company I could purchase or be an investor in purchasing, when I evaluated this vehicle with all of those same criteria, I was absolutely blown away, because for me, the market timing, the industry that we're in, the demographic trends that we're moving ahead of, the product that we brought to market, the systems and infrastructure that's in place for us, and the value for the investment, because it's all about return on your investment. When you put all those things on the table, and then not to mention personal compensation and the way that the compensation plan is structured, which as a VP of sales, I've built comp plans my whole life. When you put all those things on the table, I'm just being candid when I say I will look at anything anybody else has to offer and lay it side by side, and there's no way it can compete. I don't care what a person does today. I don't care what you sell, how you earn your income. What you do, the level of effort you give to get a certain result, if you took that effort and put it here, the result is going to be infinitely more because of what we've got going here. And I just think that, again, this vehicle is incomparable to anything else I've evaluated. I just think it's head and shoulders above. So I decided to put my chips on the table and be all in. And what we're seeing is that we're very quickly moving to a place where we will have replaced my multiple six-figure income. That will happen within under a year of getting involved in this program, which could not happen in any other business venture. I mean, going back again, not to be a broken record, but if I bought a business, if I bought a franchise, if I bought a company, I'm going to take 6 months to just do the construction and redo of the building I'm going to put it in. I'm going to do 6 months to buy equipment and systems. I'm going to do 6 more months to hire employees. I'm a year and a half in before I've had my grand opening day. And that's millions of dollars invested. No one's going to come up to me if I've bought a Chick-fil-A or a Taco Bell and in 3 months say to me, have you made any money yet? That would be a ridiculous question to ask someone. No one's going to expect somebody who's bought a name brand franchise to make $1 of profit before at least their 6th year in business. I'm going to have replaced a six-figure income by my first year in this program. I have no overhead whatsoever, but with the demographics that we're ahead of and the size of this market and the size of this organization, and thus the compensation that's going to get paid into the field, we're looking at multiple six-figure weekly incomes in the future as opposed to monthly or annual income. So to me, this is absolutely the time, this is the place, this is the deal, and I just encourage you, I don't care where you come from, take off your I'm too cool hat, set it aside and evaluate this like you would evaluate any other business, and you will be blown away.
Scott, it's interesting because I learned so much just now about your background, your experiences, and realize again about common threads. Many people out there know that, I did my undergrad at West Point in engineering and sociology. I have an MBA from George Washington University. Financial planning at Georgetown. Series 7, 66, life of a railroad newbie, mortgage and real estate license. 2001, acquired over $1 million in assets in 90 days. But yet, people still are questioning and wondering. So once again, I appreciate what you just now shared, because like you, in my business as a coach and strategist, what I've done is anytime someone's brought something to me, I've evaluated just for their benefit to say, here's what I see as it relates to a startup business, buying franchises, which I've done, and doing it from a network marketing perspective. And I literally say, this is a business model side by side. Let's see what the costs are and what is the metric.
That's right.
So we're talking about return on investment.
That's right.
And so guys like you and I, it's such a wonderful feeling to know the level of professionalism that we have in our core circle.
Right.
And it's so exciting to know that we're here growing together, feeding off of one another, and having a genuine respect with no scarcity mentality.
Right.
Doesn't that feel great?
That was terrific. And I mean, I just say again, I mean, where can you sell a product that is an inherent yes? I mean, how much easier does it get than a $49 cruise? I mean, I had an inherent no. Take the software that works really well and that you've paid millions of dollars to put in place, throw it out and invest millions of dollars in my new thing that's unproven and only a few people are doing. That's an inherent no. And I had to grind and grind, and all of my guys had to do the same thing. Where can you make millions of dollars in income with an inherent yes like this, and the startup capital is $360? To me, it's absolute nonsense to not get involved. You have to be foolish, in my opinion, to not at least be involved at some level in this company.
At some level. Yeah. And Scott, what happened with me was in September of 2007, I learned about this vehicle from the twins, just out on a business trip.
Right.
I told them up front, I'm not looking for a business, but how much is it? At the time, it was $400 up front, $40 a month. I said, okay, $880 as a total expense for that first year. Well, I knew I had $880 in my business, so I simply bought everything as a way to reduce my taxable income.
Right.
Then I used it, much as I would a calculator or a computer. And from September to December of 2007, in booking my own travel, I saved $1,000. So I was up twice. I'd reduced my taxable income, but then I was up just in savings.
Right.
It's idiot proof.
That is idiot proof. And I tell you this, many of you are putting money into an IRA, into a 401k, into a mutual fund. Where is that going right now? You know, you'll drop $1,000 a month into that mutual fund or that 401k, and it's losing ground every single week. You don't evaluate that the way you're evaluating this. If you evaluated that the way you're evaluating this, you would take that $1,000 over there, you'd stick it right here, because my return on my investment at this point is several 100,000 percentage points. Several 100,000%. I'm only 6 months in. It's absolutely incredible.
And then last one, we're going to wrap it up with
Sure.
what Scott just finished talking about with that return on investment. We're putting in we've got the program in place. My commitment is at least 6 months for you to get to the point where you're generating what the average is, and you can go to our website to see what the income disclosure statement is. But let's say conservatively that you made an extra $1,000 within 6 months, and let's annualize that. That's $12,000 for a year. And let's just be very, very excited and say you're going to get 5% return. That means you need to have $240,000 in cash.
That's right.
Generating 5% interest to match what we're saying we can do, documented. What do you want? What else do you want to do?
That's right.
You know, so hey guys, we're not going to belabor the point. We're really excited about being here. We wrapped up a phenomenal weekend with Dr. Charles King. Next month, we're going to be in Arizona for our next acceleration leadership training. We hope to see you there. So that's September 11th through the 13th. Get there. Go ahead and come to the event. Even if you're not in the business, come out there so you can at least eat some of this great mental feeding that you're going to have. So until next time, take care and be blessed.